Hello. So this week we got a few things changed up. Aaron is not really feeling so hot, so he's not coming on today. He can't even talk. So you get to listen to me. Just me. That's it. Just me. That's it. So welcome to Bench Talk. You guys know the spiel. Go on YouTube, subscribe, like, do all that other stuff. Comment so that we can talk, because I'm not going to have a whole lot to talk about if nobody comments over there. Wherever it is, down there, on the screen, wherever it's happening. I want to give a shout out to last week's guest, Luke. He was pretty freaking awesome, and we got a lot of really good information about that X4 chassis and a lot of setup tips, which were really, really good. So if you guys want to see a more condensed version of that video, go on to YouTube and just go up into the Bench Talk clips, and there's an X-Ray X4 first impressions video up there, which is basically everything he talked about, but condensed without all the other stuff added to it. How many of you guys? Gordon Cole working on a new race car. What race car? What race car are you working on, man? You got a new race car? Where? Okay, so how many of you guys have been affected by rain? I know we at the store, and I guess everywhere else, have gotten pretty severely affected by the rain. I can tell you right now, I've already gotten a couple of suppliers that have sent me some letters, some emails. Just going to read one out to you guys right now. One of the emails I got from one of our suppliers. To all our customers, I want to notify you that we've just received word from Canpar, which is one of the major shipping companies we use off of the coast, that as of Wednesday, November 17th at 11:30 a.m., they will no longer be picking up or receiving any ground shipments outside the lower mainland of British Columbia due to all major highways being flooded. Their warehouse space is at capacity, and unfortunately at this time, there is no anticipated timeline for reopening. But they say they're going to keep everybody updated and informed, which all my suppliers are doing the same thing, telling us what's going on. They have not heard an update from UPS yet. Shipments within the lower mainland are still going on, but anything coming or going from the lower mainland is not. That being one of the things, I have also talked to a couple of suppliers, and they've also said that what's happening is they have shipments that were coming into the lower mainland by train or rail or whatever from the east, and they're stuck because obviously the rail tracks and everything have been shut down as well. So if you guys are looking for something special order wise right now, it's making it very hard to get the stuff. Time frame on getting some of these things is getting longer and longer and worse. If it's coming up from down south, it's not going to be so bad. We can get it across the border, I hope. Your regular product is getting held up. Right now, our supplier for Traxxas products is in Vancouver. Well, Langley. Coquitlam. Langley. Anyways, we can't get anything from them, and we don't know how long it's going to be until we can. So if you need something Traxxas related and we don't already have it, if it's not an upgrade that we can order from somewhere else, but if it's actually a Traxxas part, it's going to be hard for us to get. So one of the other problems that's happening here with that is that a lot of places are stocking up for Christmas, being that we're halfway through November. First part of November is usually the part where most companies go and stock up and get the stuff on the shelves so that it's there for the Christmas rush. That's not going to happen so easy this time. So I strongly recommend that you get out there and pick up your stuff now while there's still something there, because some of these places not just in the RC industry, but some of these places are going to end up running out of product, period. Just because they can't get this. If their supply came from the coast, it's going to be tricky for them to get it for a couple weeks at least, right? So there's going to be a backlog. There was already a backlog. You guys have all heard that. So it's going to suck. What can I say? If you're Christmas shopping, get it done. Which is bringing me to my question for today. How many of you guys are going to get in trouble for buying stuff for your RC or your next build or whatever for Christmas? Or do you have to wait and put it on your Christmas list and let somebody else buy it for you? Comment, let me know how many people are getting in trouble. All the slaughterhouses that have taken it all, yeah. Yep. So the other thing I've noticed, there was a big rush of people trying to get gasoline yesterday. I don't understand why everybody's buying out at the grocery stores. There's a lot of food that comes from Alberta and everywhere else, right? It's not all coming from Vancouver. So, buying out the shelves on all the grocery stores is a little ridiculous. But, that's just me. Just saying crazy. Nobody cares if Tim buys anything for himself for Christmas. That sounds sad. That sounds sad. Yes, Highway 3 might be open Tuesday. No guarantee on that. I'm sure they'll find something. But even till then, that's still a week. It's a week of nothing moving, so there's going to be a backlog. And any of you guys, if it's coming up Highway 3, like if you live in Penticton, Kelowna, any of those areas down there, the main highways coming through these places are going to be insanely busy. Insanely busy. Like, you're going to get stuck behind big rigs and slow traffic. And, yeah, find alternate routes. Trust me. Yeah. Your wife lets you get all you want. My wife does not let me get all I want. I'd have to do a lot of it without her knowing. I never told no to buying more RC stuff. I've never told no. I just get that look, and then I have to sleep on the couch or down here. So, that's how that goes. So, I did a little bit of rearranging in the studio. I'm going to grab the camera here so you guys can see a bit. Let's see if I can pick you up. And okay, so I've rearranged all the cars up there. And so now there's nothing that's a project back there. Now everything that's back there is actually running. And then I cleaned up the bench a bit. I'm still got to work on the parts wall a bit more. Try to clean this all up. I found some LED lights and stuff. And so my plan is to take this wall here and light it up with some LED lighting and turn off these really bright lights so you guys don't get my shiny head so bad. Yeah, so we got a drag car here. We got the Rift here. We got a TC car here for racing. We got the F1 car. Got scale spec car. I got the Euro truck. I got my drifter there. We got the Testy twins, Carney and Krista. We got the Vanquish 410. We got the Bronco. We got Kilo, little twin hammers. I got my Capra project still going on there, and a bunch of minis. I got a Betty there, a bunch of stuff like that. Bunch of little stuff. Try and keep all this stuff on this wall, stuff that's actually working, so you guys can see it, show it off a bit. Yeah. So I'm going to find some information here for you guys. One of the things I was going to talk about this week with Aaron was we were going to talk about pros and cons of different types of tires and wheel combinations. Now, Aaron can't talk, and he was the one who actually had most of the notes and ideas for it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of this. Most of the stuff we're going to talk about here is related more to on-road racing. set of tandems to my left. To my left. To my left. Are you talking about right here? Because if that, yes, this would be my old Cross RC KC6, which has a broken steering servo mount. But let's see here. If you're talking that guy, yeah, this is my military style truck. But I broke the steering mount in here, and the steering servo flops all over the place. So, yeah, gotta fix it. It's heavy. It used to be my little trail support vehicle. I used to throw some spare batteries and stuff in there and just drive it along with me, and the tools and everything. It's actually amazing how good it does crawl with some weight in it. So, okay, what was I talking about? Yeah, back to what I was talking about. Wheels. So we've been talking a little bit about some of the different wheel choices and stuff you can do for on-road racing and some of the pros and cons and benefits of, like, for drag racing. Why do you want a metal beadlock wheel as opposed to a plastic one? One of the biggest things, we'll start with the drag racing stuff. One of the biggest things that I've been noticing, the aluminum ones that are beadlocks that are manufactured, and one, you're not gluing tires. I love not gluing tires. Two, just gonna find you guys a picture so I can put it up here and show you what I'm talking about. Two, the other benefit to running beadlocks is that they're usually made out of aluminum, and they are generally straight. They run like this. They don't do this. Almost every plastic wheel you can buy right now will wobble. And it's kind of frustrating to a lot of people. It's hard enough to get the bead to seat and get it all set up on there nicely so it's looking good and running true. But I'll give you guys this picture here. Let's share this to you. Here. Okay, so these are the Reefs wheels, and as you can see, they're aluminum rim. Now there's more rotating mass there, so they're going to be a little bit harder to get up and go. But like I said, they're going to run true. You're not going to have to soak them in acetone or, remove a bead. You don't have to glue any tires. You do have to glue the front ones with most of the drag racing sets. I haven't seen a beadlock set of fronts yet. But you're not always changing your tires that often on the front. You're going to go through rears a lot faster than you go through fronts. So there's the pros of the aluminum ones. The cons, like I said, are the weight. If you do come down hard, say you flip or crash or whatever, once you bend that wheel, you're probably done. And their price, they're quite a bit more expensive. There are several brands out there you can pick from. SSD is making a set of aluminums. Reefs is making some. Who are the other ones that are making them? Off the top of my head, those are the two that are making aluminum, I remember. And then when you get into the plastic, there's only one really plastic beadlock I remember seeing, and that'd be the Split 6 from Proline. I've heard that one comes apart easy, and people don't like that. I do have some beadlock rims that were made by Viterra back in the day, but they don't make those anymore because Viterra's not making anything anymore. So if there's any other ones you can think of, let me know. You cannot put the wide tires like the Mambos and some of those bigger ones on there. They need that extra wide bead for some of those fat tires. Some tires don't need that. That's another advantage, whatever you want to call it. Plastic tires will be lighter weight. Plastic tires or plastic rims, if you go with, say, something that is the Proline ones that have the 6-hole in the middle. Try and find you one here. I'll get this off here. If you guys go with the one that has the Proline rim with the It's got the 6-on-30, I think is what they call it right now. I really do not like their new setup that they've got going on here for their. So if you get a short course tire or short course wheel, sorry, from Proline, you can use this offset set. You can buy a different set of these center wheel hexes. So this is just an example because this is the complete set. So here you go. Like this is a super low profile setup. So this one is it's got your 12 mil hex, but it's really, really low profile. And then you got other ones. Here's the same hex, but that's your offset. So you can change your wheel width on your rims with these rims a little bit. That's an advantage. I had to do that with the front wheel drive build that I was doing, and it worked out pretty good. You could also change these up. If you had the Proline set up, you can also change them up to a 17 mil. If you can find the proper axle parts and everything to upgrade it to 17 mil, depending on what your build is. So that's that. Who else we got? Gordon sent me some pics. Okay, well, we'll take a look at those pics in a minute, Gord. Just going to give you guys a shot of Proline wheels. So these are your standard Proline plastic rims. As you can see, they have a fake bead lock to them. You can paint them up, make them look good, but they all have a fixed offset, and that's the way they're going to run. They also have inside them, they're pretty thin. They're usually gusseted up pretty good. The aluminum won't need that as much, so you might get a little less rotating mass that way. I haven't weighed the two to see the difference because they're pretty expensive, so I haven't bought a set. Yeah, so those are those guys. Drag racing wheels, pretty straightforward. Tires, we're not talking about tires because everybody has a different opinion about tires. I think reactions work great. Some people don't like reactions. I also like all the J Concept super soft tires. They do balloon out. Some people like to deal with putting tape on the inside of the rim or the inside of the tire. Some people like me can't stand doing that. It is what it is, right? So let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be on-road wheels. So when you're coming into like TC cars, your general TC car is just going to be a regular sweep racing on-road tire. They're usually not very. There's nothing really different about them. They have. Let's see if we don't have that picture. They don't have anything special done to them. You buy a rim. It's a TC rim. It's got maybe a slightly different dish on a few different models. But sweep racing is generally the tire that everybody's running for around here. If you're running TC, you're going to run TC tires. They're going to be the flat smoothies, and I think they were the 32s. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron. If you're on here, let me know. So they're a pretty straightforward flat dish, nothing real fancy. EXP. Then you start getting into, we'll get into scale spec here, and I'm going to pull this wheel off so you guys can see it easier. Plus, I'm going to pull this one off anyways so that you guys can, not so you guys, so I can fix my car because I totally smacked into the wall and I'm waiting for the piece to show up here. So, this is scale spec. Now, this is called a turbine. The wheel is actually made by Speedmind, and it's a thicker plastic. Don't know if you guys can see very well in there, but it's a way more gusseted plastic than your stock TC rims, or sorry, not TC, scale spec rims, which are Your stock scale spec rims are quite weak. They're thin. 10 scale sedan. I will find you a picture here. There we are. So this is your stock rim. Now, if you look on the back side of these rims, they're actually quite weak in behind. It's very thin plastic in through here, through this part right here. So compared to these Speedmind ones, which are quite thick, the tires themselves, Sweep doesn't make a set of scale spec tires. They're a specific tire that you have to run. Normally, you buy them from a place called Gravity RC. Now, Gravity RC makes their rims as weak as the Sweep Racing ones are. I'll find you the pictures. Just a second here. USGT. So their tires and rims. There's a picture there. Can I make this bigger? Can't really make it much bigger. Here you go. So it's a fairly boring spoked rim, but you can see that the tread pattern is the same as this. Now, if you wanted to buy just the tires, you don't have to run for scale spec. You don't have to run that rim. That one. You don't have to run that rim. You can run any spoked style rim that you want, as long as you got the right offset and everything to make your car work. So that's why I've got the Speedmind turbines. I like those. They're pretty strong, and if you guys have ever watched me race, I hit the wall quite a bit. So let's see if I can just show you just the tires. So you can just buy just the tires. So if you buy just the tires, you can put on whatever rim you want, as long as it's strong enough. This is another style of rim that's fairly popular. This is kind of a little bit like some of the drift cars that you're seeing run. This style, 6-spoke. Not bad. They're not as weak. They're a little thicker through the plastic part, through in here, in this area here. It'll be thicker. So not bad either. And here are you can buy all their rims just separate. So of the 4 rims that you're seeing, or sorry, the 3 rims that you're seeing up here right now, I would personally choose this rim because it's stronger than these 2. But if I really had my choice, I'd go with the Speedmind. Speedminds you can get in a couple different colors. Seems like the only supplier I've been able to find them from lately has been Asian Tees. RC Mart might sell them, but I don't deal with them. So I don't get them through there. And yes, sometimes the foam inside is different, closed cell or open cell. Now, you can also buy these tires. Not only do you have to can you buy them from Gravity RC, but there's another brand called Ride. Now, bear with me for a second here because their website is actually Japanese. So okay, I switched it over. So it's not Japanese now. So as you can see, this is the company. They're called Ride. They're based out of Japan. I think I'm pretty sure it's Japanese. It's on there. But as you can see, it is the exact same tread pattern as these. The 24 mil, which is what scale spec size is. And that is a good tire to run if you can't get the ones from Gravity. So same thing, 24025. So that one is. Then the other type of tire and wheel that we've been running is for minis. Now, for minis and on-road cars in the mini class, you're supposed to be running Tamiya tire. Now, they've got the S grip, which is soft, and then they've got the M grip. So in our situation, the carpet that we're running, we run generally, I think it's S grip on the rear. It all depends on where you're driving, where you're putting the power down. So if you're front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, you're going to want your grip, your S grip there. And then your M grip is going to be the other one. So also you're going to want to glue the sidewall. I don't know if you guys understand what gluing is, but it is a big difference because it stops you from traction rolling. So this tire is glued very poorly, but there's glue on the sidewall. What that does is it makes this sidewall more rigid so that when your sidewall bite hits, it's not folding the tire over and making it roll. Very, very beneficial on Euro truck tires. Now, as you can see, this tire and wheel right here is broken. And that's another topic. With the Euro trucks, what I've seen guys doing lately is they've been taking the front wheels. I have a set here, I thought. They're taking the front wheels because the front wheels don't have this weak hub on the inside. This is a rear. They always break on Euro trucks. It's very thin plastic right in there. You can see how thin that is. So when they go in there and you come around, you get that side bite or you get hit from the rear, whatever, they tend to break. So what you can do that is within the rules is you can take a set of fronts and you can put them on the rear. As long as they're a set of rims that are out of the kit, they're legal and you're allowed to run them. If they're not rims that are out of the kit, then you're not supposed to run them. But also with Euro truck, another thing that you want to do is glue your sidewalls. So if you're going to run the same rims all the way around, make sure you remember to run the ones that are glued on the front and the ones that aren't glued on the rear because you don't need them glued on the rear. So that'll help you with that. I do know there have been some companies that have made some 3D printed plates that go in the back to reinforce these. I don't really know technically if that is really allowed. It's kind of something that wouldn't really be in the kit, so I don't know if it's really something you would allow. I'm pretty sure we would because we're not so competitive with it. But some places, the benefit of that whole class is that these guys, you can get a Euro truck, you can put a battery in it, and very, very minimal setup and go out there and run. They're very even, and they'll all be banging doors for laps and laps and laps and laps. Okay, so that's those. What else was I going to talk about? It's pretty much it for the on-road car tires and the racing tires. Aaron was going to tell us a whole bunch of ideas and explain a bunch of stuff, but can't talk. So rather than doing the Jay and Silent Bob routine where he just nodded, we decided it'd be best that he stay home and not bother even trying to talk. So the next thing that we are going to talk about, let's get into our, where the heck did I put it? There it is. I just have to wait for things to spool up here. There we go. Waiting for this hard drive to spool up. It's kind of painful. Forgot foam. No, I didn't forget foam. You forgot foam. There's no foam in these. There are different foams in these, but I've never actually pulled any of these apart. I always run everything right out of the box, or I steal them from Aaron. So we'll talk about foams next time. This week, we're going to start telling you guys what's new in RC this week. Oh, yes, foam tires. That's what you're talking about. Yes. Do I want to talk foam tires? Are they grippy? Yes. Are they good? No. I don't like foam tires because you have to true them. They wear out. They slow down. They change. There's so much tuning and stuff. I think rubber's easier to deal with myself, but we can get there another time. Okay, let's move on. So, where the hell did my screen go here? I'm going to share this. So, to get things going here, you guys all know RC Four-Wheel Drive released a new TF2 trail 124 scale TF2. They're calling it a CNC aluminum chassis set, but it has plastic Punisher shafts, which I think is kind of weak. They also have, I'm going to change the screen a bit here. Let's go this way with it. There we go. I also think the body style is quite nice. You are going to be able to put headlights and stuff in the front. It's all hard body shell. It's coming in 3 colors, yellow, blue, and red. Now, I don't know if you can tell by looking at it, but it is a molded plastic. The molded plastic on the yellow in particular, you can see through it when the picture's in the light. So it's pretty crazy. Plastic Punisher shafts. I really don't know why they would have done that. At the price point that they're making these things, I really think they should have gone above plastic myself. D44 plastic complete axles and 124 scales, so it's kind of a little bit similar look as the 1/10 scales, as close as they can do it. R6 micro transmission, which is a very low profile. The way the transmission sits in here is quite low profile. Spring dampers, like everybody else, so there's no oil in these suckers, which is, in my opinion, another disappointment. I'm not hearing a lot of great things about power-wise on these things so far, from what I've seen. Spring dampers. Oh, super scale 0.7-inch wheels. Now, your cars, like all the SEX 24s and all the other 24s, they're running 1-inch beadlocks right now. These are running 0.7-inch. That's less than 3/4 of an inch. That is small, like crazy small. Who else is making tires and wheels that size? Nobody. Why? Why would you do that? I don't know. It's just RC four-wheel drive. It's kind of just like with their 1.9s, their 1.7s, and their 1.55s. You're getting all of these sizes that not many people are making, particularly the 1.7s. Let's get on to the next part of this here. So, power-wise, all the reviews I've seen on them so far, they're not really getting great reviews. They're just, it's crazily underpowered. They're supposed to be coming with another motor option in the box that you can swap out, but it's not a whole lot better from what everybody's been saying or talking about so far. So I don't know. I really think they kind of missed the mark a bit myself, but that's just me. Is it scale? Yep. Does it look cool? Yep. Is it going to perform and make you, is it going to do the same stuff the SEX 24 can do? No. But you guys are probably wondering what this is. In 2019, June of 2019, RC four-wheel drive released this platform. Now this platform, oh, there's my battery discharged. This platform was actually designed by a third-party company, and they were not owned by RC four-wheel drive. They were just being distributed and sold by RC four-wheel drive. But if you look at this platform, the chassis was all metal. The axles were all metal. It had more power to it. It had a 4.1-to-1 gear ratio, CNC machined aluminum chassis. And then they discontinued it. It was a really cool little chassis. So So that's it for 124 scale new stuff. The next thing we got right now is AP Plastics has released his Chevrolet El Camino 1970 clear body shell. This is set up to fit a drifter style chassis. I believe its wheelbase here is 259 millimeters. I think it's a pretty nice looking body myself. I did notice in the pictures and all the images that you look at of it, it is the mold lines where the doors are deep, very deep. Like even if you just take a look at this picture here, when you're looking in there, you can notice around the doors. I think the back of the door. I also think the door's a little too short, but they're just where the seam would be, where the door would open. It's very deep. It is 195 millimeters wide. So we're talking fits right in between that 190, 200. It'd be kind of cool to throw a little bit of flared out wheel wells on there. It'd be kind of cool. It comes with light buckets for the front and rear, all the body detailing decals, and all the masking decals and everything that you would need for painting. As you can see in here, the grille and the front bumper actually have to be cut and attached separately. I don't see anything in here explaining, nope, nothing in here stating whether or not there's any kind of double-sided tape provided or anything for using them, for attaching them. So, I don't know. There you go. So that is the new body from AP Plastics, which I think's kind of a nice looking one. And then we have Friction. So Friction's been making shocks, and I've got a set of them on one of my crawlers, and I think they're pretty smooth. They seem to be working really good. Seems to be fairly high quality. They have now decided to come out with the whip, LED whip lights. Now they're the same idea as the ones that were coming out from Pitbull tires. Pitbull had a set of whips, but these ones, they mount, the light is down in the bottom, and then in the bottom, you see it here, it's very small, it's waterproof, it's a very small bulb, and it just shines up through basically a clear tube. You can get them in, let me find the colors, you can get them in blue, green, a multicolor, which I believe it just keeps changing colors, orange, red, ultraviolet, which is UV, black light, or straight up white. Fully waterproof, 2 to 3S compatible. It's 6 inches long. You can roll. They're waterproof. You can roll and not worry about them bending, or you might break it. I doubt it. You're probably going to break the cab of your truck first. And that's their next little gimmick that they've come up with. It's Friction RC. Next, we have DSM Off-Road crawler-style thumb steering wheels. Now, DSM has been making, you probably know them for making their recovery kits and such. The recovery kits and stuff that they were making, they were going good. They still have them. But DSM's now made this crawler-style thumb wheel. And then they make one that fits the Traxxas TQI, the FlySky GT5, the Spectrum DX5C, and the Element XP130. So the Element XP130 is the stock radio that comes with any of the Element Gatekeepers, Ecto, Trail Runner, any. It's basically it's their stock radio, which is super great. Bolts on easy. Reuses the stock wheel foam. So if you guys are noticing there's no foam on these, it will fit the foam off of your stock wheel, slip it on there. I would throw just a dab of tire glue on there or some hairspray, just so it doesn't spin around, because once you stretch those foams out, they want to slide off pretty easy. And they are manufactured using the HP multi-jet fusion process, which is a new version of 3D printing, which makes them stronger than just regular 3D printing. So there's that from DSM Off-Road. We also have from DSM Off-Road, this is the Overdrive Microshift servo mount made for the Vanquish Phoenix. There's a bunch of guys with those out here. They're all liking them. And so now you have an option to throw a micro servo in here. Also made out of the injected HP material. You can fit a Reefs 99 micro servo in there. There's some other makes of servos that you can throw in there. You could do the shift servo, the Power HD TR4 shift servo. That would work great as well. So there's some other options for shifting servos rather than full-size stuff. That stuff is from DSM Off-Road. There will be links on the following video for this. The Bench Talk clips part. We'll clip this all out, and you guys can find all the links and everything for this stuff in that video. Let's go to the next thing. Next thing will be Club 5 TRX4 2021 Bronco upgrades. Now, they're making a fair number of different products. They are a 3D printed product. You can go on there. They got a front bumper insert, which is fairly nice looking. They also have several different options of LED lights. So they got some LED lights that mount up inside the grille, give it a little bit more of a bright, almost a Raptor-ish kind of look. If you've seen the Ford Raptors, how they look. There's some pictures. This is what comes in the package. So as you can see, it's mainly just a grill. It does come with the white or silverish kind of Bronco lettering that you'll input into there, and a strip of 3 LED lights. Now, I haven't seen on there whether or not there's a choice in colors for the lights, but I'm sure some of them will be able to, somebody will get those changed up and change the color up for you. Also from Club 5, they have what they call the pillar lights for the TRX4 Bronco. Now, the pillar lights, these ones are designed, they mount right up by the mirrors on the Bronco body. They're quite bright, but you can also get them mounted. They're down on the front bumper as well. So you could have 6 lights shining forward, LEDs, to increase your lighting capacity, or as you see fit, right? Then we also have, there's a picture of what comes in the package. So they are a high intensity LED. If you can notice, it's a little square patch. They're not a rounded 5 mil or anything like that. You get 2 buckets per set. So they, I believe, plug into your receiver lighting or your receiver output if you got an extra one. Then they also have the lower bumper with another set of LED lights down there. It also has a little bit more realistic set of hooks in there and a little more rugged appearance to it. So all in all, you could have this thing blinding you as it's coming towards you at night, and that would be kind of a pain in the ass to try and drive with. But, you know, each to their own. Everybody wants to have light sometimes. I haven't put the new light kit in mine yet. So last week when we were talking with Luke, it was kind of funny that this came up the next following week. T-Works has come up with the X-Ray X4 roll center and gear adapter spacers. So this is basically a set of spacers that are shimmed at I believe they are 1/2 mil and 1 mil. I've got the sizes in here. Yes, they come in 1 mil and 0.5 millimeter variants. And then they have a gear adapter, which is 1 millimeter thick and comes supplied with 3 low profile 3 by 5 millimeter screws, which would be that guy. So this is so you can get some of your adjustments and stuff set up and figured out for your on-road racing needs, fronts and rears. Then also for the X4 and a couple of other things, vehicles that I've noticed, people are talking about wanting to add shims. These shims are made out of brass. These are made by a Fisnia RC, and we will have a link in the description. Not on the live stream's description, but the next ones. Now, what you notice with these guys is they have little marks on the sides. Those little marks stand for the size of that shim. So what you're looking at in the picture right now would be, there's 3 vertical marks. Those 3 vertical marks stand for 3. And then the little hash marks beside it, like it almost looks like dashes, that's a 1/2 mil. So these shims right here in the picture are 3.5 mil tall. Then we have the next size. There we go. There's a breakdown of how they're working it. So you can see 3.5 mil, 3 mil, 2.5 mil, 2 mil, 1 3/4. So the 3/4 is a zigzag, 1.5, and 1 mil. Made out of brass to help you get some weight, change things around, move them where they want it to be, and such. Power HD. You guys are probably wondering, why does this servo look like this? This servo looks like this so that it can be mounted into the Mugen MTC2. So Mugen is basically it's an on-road TC platform, which is very similar. Actually, it's the one that a lot of people think X-Ray based their build off of. And I know last week when we were talking with Luke, it was compared quite often to Mugen, Osmatics, and everything, getting the center of gravity down low and everything. This has the servo mount actually built into the case. So this servo is specifically made for that platform. Obviously, there must have been a desire for it because they made one. And then going from this, we step up to the big mommer jommers. 80 kg large scale servo from Power HD. Now, what in the heck would you put one of these suckers into? Well, this one here particularly works for the new SCX6. So you got some bigger high torque choices from other brands other than just Spectrum and your normals. So that's steel gear or titanium gear. I can't remember exactly. I think that's actually a steel gear set. Let's see here. Here it is. It is gear type, all steel. There we go. Rated torque at 7.4 volts is 75 kg. The torque at 8.4 volts is 80 kg, or 1,111 ounce-inches of torque. 1,041 ounce-inches of torque at 7.4 volts. And if you want to run it at 6 volts, which I don't really know why you would only want to run it at that, it's 60 kg or 833 ounces of torque. So don't stick your finger in there. It's going to break it. All right. Next. Talked about this a couple weeks ago. Futaba. The T10PX from Futaba. Now they've released a whole bunch more information on their website as to what it is, what all the cool stuff is about it. I'm going to go down a quick little list here of the features on it. Let's see here, get to the next picture, and wait. That's the backside. It's got a bunch of charging ports and everything. So it's their highest end model. It is going to be the replacement for the 7PX. When I say replacement, but I'm not going to guarantee that means that the 7PX is going to go away, but this is going to be their replacement as being the new flagship instead of the 7PX. They're still claiming it to be the lightest in class. Supports up to 10 channels, obviously, 10PX. Has a new function on it, which they call, the new function they're calling feeling. And they're saying it feels like it suits each driver. I haven't seen any reviews on this thing yet. I don't know if very many people have run this, but they will. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people doing little reviews and comparisons as opposed to the old radios or even the Sanwa M17s. Says here it can be used as a game controller by adopting a USB external output terminal. So if you're playing VRC Pro, I think it was, you can use it as an actual controller for playing your game, which is kind of a neat idea. New wheel unit. So the wheel is a different design, APA angler. and trigger have been adopted. Throttle and steering spring replacement mechanism is adopted. Multi-position grip rubber. I'm going to see if I get a better picture. Go back here to this one. There we go. Larger wheel. It does support left-handed specifications. It has a paddle shift lever switch on the bottom switch, 3-position switch. So there's your paddle shift that you can see on there. Optional LiPo battery can be used. Full display, system information, voice. No, not voice control, but it will tell you and talk to you in a voice, tell you if your batteries are running low or transmitter issues. It's got different battery settings, so I'm going to assume you can run LiPo batteries or LiFe, lithium iron. That's the word. LED settings, adjuster, receiver updates, servo updates, model deletion, so it does support an SD card. Now, also a new function of this is you can specify what type of model it is. So if you have crawlers, you could set it up as a crawler profile. If you have on-road race cars, you can set it up as a racer profile. If you have drifters, you could set it up as a drifter profile. It runs with F4G, which is the new code, digital encoding, I guess you would say. TFHSSSR, TFHSS, SFHSS, and it is Mini Z compatible. We'll give you a servo view. Gives you adjustable throttle modes, reverse, sub-trim, endpoints, fail-safe function, acceleration profiles, trim and dial settings, switch settings, condition settings, idle up for gas jobs, drive rate, channel limiter, channel settings. In the racing menu, you've got your expo up to 111, your speed, traction control, ABS, engine start, engine cut, and like I said, the new function called feeling, which I have no idea what that's going to be. In the mixing menu, you can mix your steering, your brakes, your gyro, your four-wheel steer, dual ESCs, CPS mixing, which I don't know what that is, tank mixing, which I do believe is tanks, different track sets, I think. Program mixing, tilt mixing, telemetry. You have the telemetry system, sensor list, sensor menu. Has a timer, wrap list, S-bus servo, an ESC link, gyro link. It has a gear ratio table built in. So a whole bunch of stuff that most of us are never going to use. It's all in there. And it looks pretty, and it looks cool. And, it's the biggest and bestest from Futaba, so there are some people out there who just must have it. I'm not one of them. I have a Sama. Now, the new Futabas are way easier to program than the older ones were, just saying. So, made by RC Maker is the adjustable horizontal rear post template. Now, when we were looking at the X-Ray X4 last week, you notice that the body posts are coming out the back into the rear bumper. This is a new template made by RC Maker so that you can line up and figure out exactly where those body post holes are going to go before you drill them. So it's adjustable. It's made out of carbon fiber. There's a couple pictures of it here. There's one here showing you if it ever starts playing again. La, 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 la. Basically, it sits on the top deck on the back, and you can use it to line up where your holes go and drill them away. Just another handy tool to make it a little easier to get your body lined up and built, set up on there properly for you. For the drifting guys, Rev D has come out with a new steering bell crank set and front knuckles. So what this steer crank set is doing, they moved it forward about 3 degrees. Horizontal angle of change of the rods is minimized and gives you more stable cornering characteristics. addition, they mounted the ball stud for the tie rod horizontally. So it gives you accurement adjustment with spacers, which was not possible before. So kind of like they have on a lot of the X-rays in the on-road cars. Now you can adjust your Ackerman by spacing out the ball. Bell crank specification. Those use slide rack specification. Slide rack. So they're claiming that this will have lighter and faster response, but it will also benefit you with a slide rack. And then they also released a new front knuckle. So this is just showing our angle that they changed, and they moved it forward a bit by 3 mil. This would be the steering rack, which shows you how you can adjust it. And these are the new front knuckles. So this was developed with the SG Bell crankset to work really well with it. Ball joints instead of all plastic just gives you more strength. And this one is designed that you can use larger bearings so you get reduced scrub. Also for the drifters. That's Rev D, by the way, if you didn't read it there. Yokemo has released a new lightweight flex main chassis. So this whole chassis is designed to flex, give you a little bit more traction control characteristics based on where you're allowing the flex to happen. A lot of fine tuning for got a bunch of cars that want to slide. So it seems kind of strange. There was a real push for a while there. There seemed to be quite a push for the chassis to be crazy rigid, but now seeing guys seem to be liking the control and feel of it flexing a little bit. Separate suspension mounts to maximize the flex on the chassis, so they're no longer built in and they're not solid pieces. So they actually use, by being mounted separately, the chassis can flex in between them a bit now. Made out of aluminum and graphite, and it's supposed to be more lightweight than the standard chassis. And you got a couple of different battery mount positions for it, depending on how much weight you want forward and backwards. For the M chassis, the minis, Tamiya minis, Yeah Racing has come out with the new big bore M chassis shocks, the Cutus, Q-U-T-U-S. Yep, that's how it's spelled right there. Comes with all the pieces you need to rebuild an aluminum body, and you are going to have all the advantages of having shiny big bore shocks. They come in a variety of colors. I saw blue, black, and bronze, I believe. Different shock pistons for fine tuning. The set also includes a full set of springs, like different set of springs. So you've got soft and medium and hard shock springs in the kit, which is pretty nice. Gives you lots of adjustability. And comes with 300 CST shock oil included in the kit. That's Yeah Racing. And then you guys have probably heard all enough about these guys from J Concepts already. For the guys who are really liking the monster trucks with the new launch tread pattern. There we go. The new launch tread pattern, which it doesn't really look like anything I've seen on a real full size. But then again, I haven't had a lot of time to watch any monster truck racing. And then they've got a knob tread pattern that they've come out with. I think I have seen something a little bit like this. It was like an ag tire that they were running. But that's just their new 2.6 inch. It'll work good on the LMTs. It would work good on any of that platform. And then Trial came out with a 2.6 inch monster truck wheel. Aluminum upgrade, bead lock wheels. This picture's a little blurry. I couldn't find a better one to steal from. 12 mil hex, but it's an internal bead lock. So hopefully it's not a big pain in the ass to put together. It'll be very interesting to see. 2 color choices, black and silver or green and silver. The green one looks kind of cool, but it's going to look really silly if you don't have a green truck. So that is what's new in RC this week. If you guys have any other things you would like to see, there's a few extra things that we did find out about last second, like literally last second. I know Junsi iCharger is putting out a new charger, but it's going to have XT90 ends coming out of it, so we'll be finding some more information about that. Most of the information I get for this lately, we've been getting from online version of RC Car Action, Radio Control Car Action, redrc.net. I've been grabbing information and finding out new products from there. Big Squid RC. If you guys have ever checked that out, check out Big Squid RC. Harley Designs does Scale News Update on Tuesdays. Usually I have most of that information already figured out, but if I missed anything, he helps me out and ends up I sneak a couple more from them. Then we also get all of our information from our suppliers, because they'll tell me prior to releasing this, they'll show me what's on there. They'll put it up on their website before you can actually order it. So I can find out a few things that way. That being said, one thing that I did find out about is Axial. Just going to grab it here. We have Axial, FMS, Losi, and Proline are all doing releases tomorrow morning, early in the morning. So pay attention. I'm not really so concerned about the Losi or the FMS, but the Axial release is of interest because I got no information about it whatsoever. It could just be a set of axles. It could just be some weird body trim things. I don't know. The Proline thing, I already know it's a Chevy truck body. Looks to me like it's got a cage. Couldn't find good images to put on here, so I didn't bother. It'll all be released tomorrow. You'll find out more information from all four of those companies. FMS could possibly be a smaller scale crawler, but they also do some model planes, so it might be that as well. And that is that for those. Now, that's new in RC. Now, I was hoping that Aaron was going to be here to talk with me, but he doesn't want to talk because he can't talk because he's lost his voice because he's talking too much, apparently, which I'm doing a lot of today. I was talking a lot to myself. I should have brought a water. I didn't. Not prepared for talking by myself. So this week, let's see if I can find it. Nope. Give me a second. So we have a new segment we're adding to our RC stuff. If you guys have any questions, you guys can comment over there. Montec Racing. So basically, I wanted to start making it more known, some of the different brands that are out there other than what you generally see in the big manufacturers. Obviously, everybody knows Traxxas, everybody knows Losi, Axial. These brands are all big brands. They're distributed by all kinds of different companies. But there are companies out there such as Montec. Now, I'm hoping that I can get this to show up. Montec makes a whole bunch of very cool bodies. They make them for all different brands, sizes, but mostly the on-road stuff is what they seem to specialize in the most. They do, this is a 12-scale pan car chassis. Previous car on that before there was this car here is GT3. This would be more of a, this would actually fit those Vortex. But they also have some really cool, really nice TC car bodies and stuff. A lot like the Biddy design style ones. And they do look pretty damn cool. And the new man, so these are 308. This is Going to be set up for a 1/10 scale chassis, so you got that front wheel drive kind of look. Would work for scale spec as well, or a rally style look if you're going for a rally car build. Curia GT3 scale spec car. That's set up on a pan car chassis. Actually, no, that was actually a GT. This would probably be a GT 112 scale GT, I do believe. But they have some just killer looking bodies. The GTI, very cool looking body. Then they've got this little dude, the Pickup M. This is designed to fit on an M chassis. So you got yourself a pickup truck. Then they also have some very cool Formula One bodies. So this is the F22, which I do believe is, just waiting for this thing to translate. There we go. There. So the F22 is based more on the Formula One 2022 body styles, basically. A little closer, more realistic to what they're actually running now. So pretty sharp looking bodies, I think. Montec also makes a really, really nice set of front wings and rear wings. If you notice, they've got all the louvers and stuff like the on-road, like the actual F1 cars have nowadays. So they're pretty nice. Let's get back here to try and show you some. They do have a couple of pickup truck bodies, some crawler bodies. Not there's only one that I've seen on their entire site. Lots of off-road bodies. Rally front wheel drive. So these would also work scale spec. Let's see if we can find you. I've never checked out what the black collection is on here yet. Ah, yes, here we go. So body checkers and cargo kits for bringing all your cars and stuff to the track. Pit setup boards. Black collection is basically their set of tools. Oh, masks, because everybody's doing masks now. Beanies. So if you have questions about Montec, check them out. They're out of Europe. They have one distributor in North America that I've found, and that's Awesomatics USA. They sponsor very heavily over in Europe. But they make some really cool bodies. I like them. So, yeah. That's that. Don't forget the Mustang bodies for the Vendetta and scale spec. At least that's what I've seen. Yes. So there is a Mustang body. It's a 99 Mustang body that is actually being released for, it's not scale spec. It's actually being released for drag racing. It is designed to have no wheelie bar on the back. It's supposed to be wheelie bar free. And then the Vendetta is running a, oh, what the hell was that body? It's a newer Mustang, I believe. So they're really going heavy with Mustangs right now. Not very good images. They'll do a full release probably next week. So then we'll put it on next week's edition of what's coming out new. So you guys can check it all out, and I can actually get a better picture rather than just the silly teaser pictures. I can actually guarantee you that tomorrow the releases that Horizon's putting out from Axial, FMS, Losi, and Proline, I can pretty much guarantee you that those bodies are going to be in those releases. So that'll be pretty cool. So that is that stuff. And I'm just trying to remember what else I was going to show you guys today. So we've talked about brand. And I'll put the link to the brand in the description on the YouTube description. So you guys can go straight to Montec Racing and check out what they've got for bodies yourself. I can't get them yet. I'm working on it to get some of their bodies and their stuff in. So right now you would probably have to order direct from them. So it is now time for Gord's favorite part of the show. Ask holes. You're wondering what an ask hole is. I'm going to tell you what an ask hole is. They grind my gears, and they grind my gears because they're the person that comes and asks you over and over and over again. They want your advice, and they want your input, and they want you to help do this, and they want you to help do that. And they ask you if they should buy this, and they ask you if you should do that, and why should I get this, and why should I get that? And then they go and do everything exactly the opposite of what you suggested. That is an ask hole, and they grind my gears. There you go, Gord. There's your grind. I got nothing else to say about that one. Aaron had one, but he can't talk. So that's another thing that grinds my gears. People who lose their voice. That just grinds my gears. All right. Next, we are going to talk about some of the local events that are going on. This weekend coming up, we have on-road racing. We actually have the gymnasium at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So you guys can come in a little earlier. We can spend more time getting set up, get some tunes in, getting your cars ready to go and going faster. And then we can focus more on racing on Sunday. We did have some people who were going to come up from the coast because, it was basically going to be damn near 2 days of running. Somebody forgot to turn off the taps, and now they can't make it up here because the roads are washed out. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let's see. Gord, show my build. 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 He says we'll be happy. I will see. Let's see. Will we be happy? Let's see. What is Gord's build? Ooh. Let's make it bigger. And can we zoom a bit? Nope, we don't want to zoom that one. Here we go. I'm going to remove this one. We want to share this window. Anybody got any hints or ideas as to what this is? I know exactly what it is. It's a Euro truck. Somebody's building a Euro truck. Gord is building a Euro truck. So he's got that much done so far. He is running a Gens Ace battery, so that'll be good. It is a MAN truck, which is also good. Question is, what color scheme is he going to do the body? We do not know. We do not know. So that'll be cool. And one more car to race in the field. So yeah, that makes me kind of happy. Yep. And then Gord says it's all your. Gord says it's all Tim's fault that he's bought a Euro truck. So I don't know. Maybe. Well, let's take a look at Tim's. Tim sent me some pictures. He is working on. What is he working on? Come on. Make it bigger. He is working on the BC8. Big truck. You guys have probably seen them before. It is an 8-wheel drive behemoth. Well, actually, technically, it is called the Mammoth. So there you go. 4-wheel steer on the front. Heavy. It's like 30-pound truck. Big thing. Be fun. Gonna be big fun. And let's see what else. Oh, yes. Zarek has sent me some pictures. Oh, I see. Oh, somebody's building himself a high lift. The U-Haul themed high lift. I like that. That's cool. So can we rent that truck for $19.95? Let me know if we can rent that truck for $19.95. I'll give you $19.95 to rent it. And is that for a full day? And is there a limit on mileage? And that's all the stuff that anybody sent me today. But that's a pretty cool looking truck. I like that. Let's make it bigger. There we go. Zoom you in. Now, is that actually a high lift or is that a... No, that is a high lift. Or is that an RC four-wheel drive chassis you're putting it on? I like that body. I love that body. If you're a Ford lover, which I'm not. But anyways, there you go. So thanks for sending me that. What else is there to talk about today? That's what I thought. Zarek says it's the TF2. The high lift is for sale. So if you guys want a high lift chassis, talk to this guy right here, and he'll probably sell you one. Gord says he's on shocks. You are shocks. I mean, shocking, shocked, shocks. Yes, that's it. Yeah, so that's it. I don't have anybody to banter with today. I don't have anybody to chat with. Poor Aaron thinks he's dying. Got to get better before the weekend so he can actually go racing. I did get me a bunch of fancy little shims this week for doing my car. I got me some fancy little tuning things for my F1 car. That's kind of cool. More shims. Some pretty shiny orange servo bolts. Things are dinging. Why are things dinging? Oh, things are selling at the store. That's cool. How many cars you guys bringing out this weekend? Let me know if you're bringing cars, how many you're going to bring. I'd love to know how many people are going to show up for practice at least. Gord, you're saying it's the first Tamiya in your fleet. I'm pretty sure you're going to end up buying a Mini. Just because I know you, and I know a couple of Minis that might be up for sale. Yeah. So if there's any other questions about anything, shoot, talk, speak now, or forever say nothing. Let's see if there's anything new. I'm going to snoop over here and see if there's anything new. Local events, yeah. Racing is going to be on Sunday. Practice and a little bit of racing possibly on Saturday. Definitely practice for sure. Lots of time to get your cars set up and get going. When you show up to the races, you don't need to take your stuff home that night if you're coming back the next day, as long as you're coming back the next day. So there you go. Aaron remembers the entry fees. Oh, no, Gord. You'll want more racer cars, trust me. You're going to want way, way, way more race cars. Sure of it. I am trying to see here. Oh, yes. Getting notices and notifications telling me that there's even stuff coming up from the States is being delayed now. And that's from UPS, but they usually never get their stuff on time. Anyways, so that's not a big deal. Next week, we will have a couple of really cool little cars that will be showing up. You guys want to see these things? Let's see if I can find a picture of it and show you guys real quick. They are mini Z Buggies. Cool little cars. So I wait for my slow. 20th. Where is the Mini? I'll find it. Trust me, I'll find it. Oh, they got Wave Runners again out of stock. Bummer. Mini. I cannot remember the name of the little bugger. But it's so cute. It's about this big. And it's all-wheel drive and supposed to be pretty quick for its size. Is what I'm told. Micro buggy. No. What the heck? I'll find it. 1 second. No. Not that one. That one. Mini Z Buggy. Here we go. KYO 32101 BK. Put this one here. Okay, let's show you this. Isn't it cute? It is the Mini Z Buggy MP9 in the white and black body set. Let's see. Runs on AAA batteries. Four-wheel independent double wishbone suspension. Oil-filled shocks. 7-stage geared steering servo. So it's got a lot of torque for the steering. You can add a gyro unit to it, but you have to add the optional gyro unit into it. Matches performance style, just in the car, fully pre-assembled. Shaft-driven 4-wheel drive. Sealed gears. 15 ball bearings and slipper clutch. So it is full ball bearings. Doesn't really tell me if it's brushless or not. But it's so small. Yeah, it's a 130 class motor, so it's not brushless to my understanding. But I think this is going to be a pretty cool little car. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That thing's cute. Getting any 1 million diff oil in. Yeah, no guard. There's no shock oil in the shocks. It's what is in there. You can, some people add like really thick grease in there just to give it a little bit more friction. You're not really supposed to. No oil goes in those shocks though. You might want to consider some thick oil in your diffs. Your front diff particularly, but that's all setup stuff that can be done after you run it a little bit. I don't think Tim has any of that stuff done in it yet. He might. I don't know. Just makes it so it actually you can get it to stand back up again. So yeah. So yeah, this little guy should be showing up here next week or later this week, maybe by Friday. I don't know. It's at the border. It's one of those orders I wasn't expecting it to show up this week, and they said it's there. So super small, super cute, super fun. I have a question for you guys, and I would like to know if you guys would be at all into it. If we start doing a 1/28th scale drag racing series this winter, Associated has released that new DR28, which is, cool. But I'm not sure if they're making any other body styles for it, or if there's any other stuff involved in it. This little guy. So it's basically a little 1/28th version of their drag car. I would like to race them. I think it'd be cool. I think it would probably take... let me do math. I'm good at mathing right now. So 1,320 feet would be your standard quarter mile. And this would have to be divided by 28. So 47 feet, 50 feet roughly would be a proper strip for this. I don't think I would want to run a proper strip. I think I would probably rather do an 1/8 mile setup with this, and then you'd end up with 25 foot roughly. 25 foot you could easily do inside the store, or a lot of inside a garage. A lot of people have a garage that you might be able to go diagonal, go that length. So I think that we should do a 1/8, a 1/28 1/8 mile drag racing league. And if you guys would be interested in that, let me know. I don't think the gearing on this chassis is different than the gearing on the short cross trucks that they made before. So I'm not 100% positive on that yet, but there might be more than one option here to race these. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, because I think they're cool. I think they'd be fun. And they're indoor, and you'd be warm. And if it's raining, you're not floating away, and all that wonderful stuff. I think it's really funny that they offer the gearing ratio on this one, but they don't show the gearing ratio on the other models. So there you go. Oh, yes, I knew Scott would take one. I knew you'd take one. I knew you wanted one. So, what else have I got to show you guys? Oh, I know I was going to show you guys. Maddox has started getting his body ready for paint. So he's masked it all up and he's painted up his paint scheme. Well, not painted it, kind of just come up with a scheme. So this is a Mazda 2. And he's decided he wants it done in somewhat of a rally style paint scheme. So we're doing the hood black. We're doing the roof black. We're doing the doors black and this back piece black with fluorescent green accents on it, I guess you would say. And then he's doing the front bumper in the fluorescent green, and the back bumper in the fluorescent green, and these side pieces in fluorescent green, because he likes the green, but he wants more black on there as well. So we'll see how this all goes. He has been the one prepping and drawing the lines and everything on this body, so Maddox will be painting this body by himself. Not me. I will be standing there holding a ventilator, trying to not get sprayed in the face. And yeah, I don't know. What else is there to say? We've talked about Montec today. We have given a shout out again to Luke for last week. That was awesome. This week I wanted to do something with the on-road tires, but like I said, Aaron knows more of the on-road car tires. Next week we might talk a little bit more about crawler tires and some of the scale offerings out there. Haven't really decided yet. When next week comes, I'll know. Gord says he's trying the new on-point paint on the Euro truck build. I think you're going to like it. All of these bodies here, the Formula One and my TC, were painted with on-point, and they're bright. The fluorescents are very bright. The chrome colors are really tricky to do. I think I might have gone a little too thick with them on my F1 car. So it's hard to really get the picture. And this is supposed to be like a reflective chrome. And this is a fluorescent orange, and this is fluorescent green. It really shows up bright with these LED lights. But this is supposed to be more chromy. So I guess it's pretty close, really, when you look at but this has a little bit more of a mirror shine to it, I think. So I think if I went a little lighter on the purple on this outer coating and then followed it up with the chrome, which is this stuff here. This is just the straight chrome. And I'll tell you, this stuff lays from On Point. The chrome lays awesome. Like, I think I used a quarter of a can for this. So I could probably do quite a bit more. I have to finish painting up my bodies. So I'm going to do another body for my scale spec car. But I also have to put in a bigger Mommer Jommer ESC because I don't like it being slow. So, yeah. If you're going to go with one color, I'd make sure you got 2 cans. One wasn't quite enough for my Euro truck. Which brand did you use? Because if you're using the On Point, you'll get more. You definitely get more spray out of it. If you're using the Tamiya stuff, it doesn't seem to last that long. And I'm pretty sure that you painted yours with Tamiya in their smaller cans. Was it On Point, really? Oh, okay. He says he's going with 2 colors, so there you go. Or you could do it just one. If you did it all black, you could just do 1 can. Or all white. I think I even have a silver there too. Fluorescent, it went for a long time. That's my green. I painted 2 bodies with this green. Not all of the body, but I've still got half a can here. My purple, which I did this whole hood here and the roof. We're done with this, and I still got over half a can left. Now the orange I really laid that on heavy because that was one of the first ones I put on, and I thought that was going to require more coverage than it actually did. So this is a little low. The smoke for the windows, the smoke is very it's more like just a black. It's more like just a regular straight black. It doesn't really look so much like a smoke to me. Whereas, like, if you do the stuff from Tamiya, actually comes out like you can almost see through it like sunglasses, where this doesn't. So the guy driving my car is going to have a bit of a hard time seeing. Yeah, is what it is, right? Okay, well, this is going to be a shorter one than normal. I don't really have much else to talk about today because I don't have anybody ask me any dumb questions. Just looking to see if there's anything new from any of these other guys. And what else we got? Nothing really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for me. I really don't have much else to talk about today. My nose is plugged. That's kind of par for course. I've been hiding inside. And I'm going to start throwing this sucker into the car and start setting up myself a little toolkit. I got myself a little blinky back light for my F1 so that I can be cool like all the cool kids and have flashing lights everywhere, because I just feel left out without the flashing blinky light. So yeah. Any questions, shoot them to me. Other than that, we're going to call her a night. So thanks for tuning in, you guys, and hopefully Aaron is feeling good by the weekend so that he can be there for racing, because I cannot talk during racing. And yeah, we will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for coming, and we're out.